Hey guys, Film Recaps here, and today we're covering a 2020 crime drama movie called The Night Clerk. The opening scene of the movie shows Bart Bromley, a hotel clerk, in his room looking through a live feed of multiple cameras that he keeps hidden in several of the hotel rooms. As he looks at the hotel guests, he mimics them too. A little while later, Ethel Bromley, his mother, calls on him to eat breakfast. He goes to the living room to eat. Bart also has cameras hidden in his house. After breakfast, Bart drives to his place of work, the hotel. Upon arriving at the hotel, he meets Ron, his boss. The two have a quick chat and Ron leaves afterward. Some time passes, Bart is seen pacing around the reception area due to boredom. Moments later, Karen, a hotel guest, comes in. Karen tells Bart that she has a reservation at the hotel. Bart checks through the computer to confirm. After the confirmation, Karen asks Bart if the room is nice and Bart lists out all the perks of the room for her. He then proceeds to give her the room key. However, just as Karen is about to leave, Bart calls her back and changes the room, stating that this one is better. Before Karen leaves, Bart tells her to be careful. Now in her room, Karen is being watched by Bart through the camera. A little while later, an unknown man comes knocking on Karen's door. Karen opens the door and the two are seen talking. Meanwhile, as Bart watches the room from his tablet, Bart's coworker, Jack, comes in, thereby interrupting Bart's affairs. He tells Bart he can leave now and takes over the shift from him. Bart packs his things and starts leaving. On his way home, Bart stops at a grocery store to buy ice cream. He makes a rude comment about the attendant's shirt before he leaves. Upon getting home, Bart continues to watch Karen's room. A little while later, an argument ensues between Karen and the unknown man. He starts to beat her and during the process, Bart sees a gun fall down from Karen's bag. Bart immediately calls the hotel but hangs up when the clerk picks up to avoid any explanation as to how he can see what is happening in the room. Bart rushes out of his room and runs to his car. He starts driving fast to the hotel so he can try and rescue Karen. Upon arriving at the hotel, he enters the hotel through a side door. Just then, Bart's coworker, Jack, comes out of the hotel to puff a cigarette and spots Bart's car. Bart hurries to the room and soon afterward, Jack hears a gunshot. He comes into the room and finds Bart sitting beside Karen's body. Jack tells Bart not to touch anything and goes to the reception to call 911. As soon as Jack leaves, Bart starts removing all the secret cameras and storage cards. During the process, Bart hears Jack coming and accidentally drops a storage card. The following day, Espada, a police detective, is seen talking to Ron about Bart. Ron tells Espada that Bart is a good kid. Moments later, Espada goes over to meet Bart where he is sitting. Before Espada asks anything, Bart starts to explain how the night went. He tells Espada that he came back to the hotel because he forgot his wallet. He also adds that he bought ice cream while he was going home after his shift ended. Espada asks Bart about his age and love life. Espada then tells Bart that Jack informs him that he never left the hotel because Jack saw his car, but Bart argues and says he came back through the side entrance. Bart starts talking hurriedly but Espada tries to calm him down because of his psychological condition, which is Asperger's syndrome. The condition doesn't allow Bart to interact with people socially. Espada later tells Bart that he is lying because if he didn't have his wallet, how did he pay for the ice cream, but Bart keeps mute. Up next, at the police station, Detective Nick, Karen's husband, is talking to Detective Espada. Nick informs Espada that Karen owns a handgun for her own protection. He adds that he is shocked that Karen is at a hotel in the middle of the night. Moments later, Ethel comes over to the station to get Bart released. Upon arriving home, Bart's mother assures him that he can tell her anything and she will always be there for him. Later that night, Bart rewatches the recording from Karen's room. He notices that the unknown man has a bird tattoo on his arm. The following day, Ron reassigns Bart to a new hotel. On his first shift, Andrea Rivera, a young lady, checks in at the hotel. A little while later, Bart sits down to rewatch his chat with Andrea at the reception. While watching the clip, he admires Andrea and talks about her in his head. The next morning, Bart is about to leave his house when he spots Detective Espada's car. He starts walking and soon arrives at a mall where he meets Andrea. The two have a chat and Andrea figures out that Bart has Asperger's syndrome. She tells Bart that her brother had the condition too, but he passed away some time ago. Later that day, Bart is rewatching the clips when he notices that he is missing a storage card. Meanwhile, at the hotel, Espada finds the storage card and watches it, but the clip only shows the floor of the room and he didn't get to see the full view. Moments later, Espada is questioning Jack. Jack tells Espada that he saw Bart watching a clip on his tablet and the video looks like it was shot from the hotel room. Later that night, Bart is sitting at the reception desk when Andrea comes in. Bart informs Andrea that the maintenance team did some work in her room in case she notices any changes in the room. However, Bart has installed cameras in Andrea's room and he watches Andrea in her room. A little while later, Andrea comes to the reception to ask Bart for a lighter. Bart informs her that smoking isn't allowed. Andrea then tells Bart that she is going to the pool and he is free to join her. Andrea is coming out of the pool when she suddenly sees Bart standing outside the pool with a towel. Andrea is shocked and tells Bart to look the other way because she is indecent. After getting dressed, Andrea tells him to sit down beside her and keeps her company. The duo has a chat about Bart's condition. Moments later, Bart pecks Andrea's lip. He apologizes afterward, but Andrea says it's okay. Andrea places Bart's head on her lap and comforts him. She tells Bart about her love life. She adds that the man she is dating is married and they have been seeing each other secretly. Andrea then tells Bart that things have gotten complicated between them. A little while later, Andrea tells Bart that she needs to sleep and leaves. Bart is seen excited as he smiles. The following day, Bart buys a new suit and gets a haircut. He also buys a new car and perfumes. Later on, Bart goes to the hotel intending to visit Andrea. However, when he arrives at the hotel, he finds Andrea making out with an unknown man from Karen's room because he recognized him with his tattoo. Bart leaves the hotel tearfully. Upon arriving home, Bart sees the police taking his computer and all his recording equipment. Bart tells Detective Espada that he has already wiped the hard drives and they won't find anything on it. Espada leaves shortly after. Upon the departure of Espada, Bart brings out a hard drive that contains a copy of the recording from Karen's room and rewatches it. Later that day, Bart's mother comes into his room and has an emotional talk with him. This pushes Bart to join her at the dining table for the first time. Up next, Nick is seen in the car with Andrea. It is now revealed that the unknown man from Karen's room is Nick. He tells Andrea to terminate Bart so he won't be able to identify him to the police. Later on, Andrea goes to Bart's home. She meets Ethel outside tending to the plants and asks after Bart. Bart stays inside the house as he talks to Andrea, who is outside. Bart tells Andrea that he is heartbroken. Andrea cries and says she is sorry. Moments later, Andrea tells Bart that she won't bother him and says goodbye. Meanwhile, Espada is parked outside the house and he sees everything. Afterward, Espada does research on who Andrea is. In the next scene, as Bart watches the camera, he sees Nick come into Andrea's room. The two get into an argument which causes Nick to hit Andrea. Bart rushes down to the hotel. Bart gets to the room on time and Nick leaves afterward. Bart then shows Andrea the hidden cameras. He tells Andrea to follow him home because he wants to show her something. At his house, Bart shows Andrea the recording from Karen's room and finds out that Nick killed Karen. Andrea asks Bart if he has shown this to the police, but he says no. Andrea starts crying and goes over to sleep in Bart's bed. Bart lies down behind her and the duo falls asleep. The following morning, Bart wakes up from a beautiful dream to find out that Andrea has gone along with the hard drive that contains the recording from Karen's room. He also notices that Andrea has left the gun from Karen's bag on his bed. Meanwhile, Detective Espada is investigating Andrea's hotel room. Moments later, Bart's mother hears a gunshot from his room. Just then the police arrive at Bart's house. Upon entering his room, Detective Espada finds a note in the storage cards left there for him by Bart. Andrea gives Nick the hard drive containing the recording of Karen's room and the duo are driving out of town when the police pull them over and arrest them. As the movie comes to an end, Bart is seen walking through a mall and practicing the conversational speech he has been observing in his recordings. Thanks for watching, guys.